I feel like I'm getting better at this.
You are.
I'm just sweating so much.
Nakia, you did good. You take him on for the team today. This is dedication to a promo. Hey?
It's been, a hectic week. We have all the stuff happening at the moment. Obviously video production is happening everywhere, and Nicole's getting all the little pieces of the puzzle sort of lined up, which is a new experience for me, because instead of just going, it's easier if I just do it myself, I'm having to be like, no, go and do this, and she's been really good about that. But I guess it's more of a learning thing for me than anything, is delegating and delegating well.
Nakia's very, very organised with everything that she does. She's probably got a little bit of OCD with everything. Everything's in a spreadsheet and very formulated, but it's good because we're both on the same page. I found myself at the start really going back and forth and not being confident enough to make a decision or saying the right thing, but now I'm trying to really just be confident in myself and double check over everything that I'm doing. It's just, having that confidence to just go, boom, not having to go back and almost get that reassurance from Nakia and just taking the reins and being confident with that.
My new Monday routine is actually going and training with Kim at Muay Thai Militia. So we do 10 rounds of sparring and 10 rounds of clinching. Which is fun and brutal. It's a really good marker for where I'm at each week, because each week I go back, I get punished a little bit less and get a little bit better. But yeah, she's a beast. I missed, training with her.
I know as soon as I started doing Muay Thai and I started learning the basics, or learning the art of Muay Thai, I guess, down that track, how much empowerment it gave me as a female. You feel strong. You don't feel like a wimp, especially after having a baby. I have a better body now than I did before I had kids. And after I had my first Kalani, the muscle maturity that I produced, it was just crazy. I just started putting on lean muscle. I think maybe too, it's your mindset. I appreciate the training and the time at my training. I utilize that so much more because I'm taking time away from my kids. They're at home being babysat. Someone else is looking after my kids while I'm training. So a lot of that is utilising your time efficiently and working hard during that time.
This camp's been hard, really hard. And I guess last week was that week where it just sort of all come on top of me.
Oh man, what a roller coaster last week was. Sold our house, moved into the farm, getting all the animals set up. She got sick. Just a lot of stress levels going through the roof. So we just got to make sure we do what we can to keep her on track and just take the load where I can with the kids and all that kind of fun stuff. So
waking up Monday morning sick, and then one thing after another was just chipping away at me. And I think by the time the end of the week I was just, at the drop of a hat, ready to just burst out in tears and have a breakdown and go, fuck, why? Why did I do this? For those that are close to me know, I don't cry very often at all. I'm more likely to cry over something really dumb, a puppy dog in a movie, than I am about real life serious stuff. I just felt man, I felt if something small happened at any moment, I was just going to snap.
How long is it going out,
So the next few weeks, Nakia is going to be focusing solely on training, so I'll be taking on most of the reins. The toughest thing that I'm finding at the moment is just the back and forth between fighters and trainers. There's so much involved, and that can delay selling tickets and pulling off the show. If we don't get posters out, we don't get tickets sold. So that can be really daunting. But in fighting, when I'm cutting weight, that weight might not move and it might be just staying there in limbo, but you hit this point in your prep where it just falls off. And it always is that same point, your body changes, but trusting that process, it's like this. It's like everything that we're doing right now is putting those processes in place to be able to get to that end result. It might not look like it's happening right now, but everything's equaling up to get that end result.
One thing that athletes don't take, I guess, seriously enough is like mental decision making and how much that physically exhausts you. Your body is kind of like a phone, like your phone at 100% charge, right? And every time you make a decision for the day, even if it's small decisions, slowly the percentage of that charge runs out. And so I was just having these huge days where I was on the phone to solicitors and then talking to someone about MTL, and then someone's trying to buy a ticket and this is going wrong and they want to know this about this, and then we're trying to edit some videos, and then someone needs flights booked and baby needs me, he needs to have a nap, and then we're trying to move house in the middle of all of that. I was getting into training and just being like, I feel good, yep, I'm excited, let's go train, get to hit pads, go to hit the pad, nothing in the tank. And then like, what? Like, why? When I find I take it more easy as far as like try to limit how much I'm working on in the day, try to limit the departments that I'm working in and have to sort of put boundaries up and say to people, no, like I'm not, I'll get back to you tomorrow about that. I'm not doing that today. Or like respecting my own boundaries and putting that in place with people instead of just being accessible by everybody at all times, then my training's better. And I still take too much on because it is in my nature. But I'm more aware of the issues now, like if they arise, and if I like getting sick on that Monday, like that was a sign, probably a bit run down, had a fever. That's a good sign, like my body's just like needs a break. And instead of just pushing through and sucking it up, I'd go, well, I'm just gonna rest tonight, I'm not gonna train, because instead of missing out on 3 days or having 3 really bad days, one day I missed and then I was back at it the next day. So yeah, it's just learning when to listen to your body, and it's a hard thing, especially even for coaches as well, to manage when you're just being a sook and when you actually really do need to look after yourself. Part of me wants to be a bit of a control freak and do it all myself, but I know that I can't do that, and that's not the way to do things well. And Nicole's a really good team player and wants to do as much as she can, so we're just like navigating, trying to hand as much of that over as possible, because it's my baby. Like MTL is my baby, and we're still fresh in this game. Like this is the 3rd show, so I feel like
That's your actual baby.
he was like, MTL's not your baby, I'm your baby.
So yeah, I'll be taking over majority of the jobs and making it less stressful for her towards the end.
Ooh. Ooh. Good one.